Good evening to you and welcome to Team Talk. I'm Keelan Webster. Let's have a look at tonight's lineup. Kent Crusaders pick up a big win. We've got highlights from the weekend's football action and we try some archery with a Paralympic star. The first tonight, Sunday, saw the climax of Super Six's indoor hockey tournament. Sevenoaks' men first team took on Surbiton in their semi-final match. The Kent side are one of the best indoor teams in the country, but were easily dispatched by Surbiton, losing 8-1. There was better luck for Canterbury's women's side, who won their semi-final match against Bowden Hightown 4-2. Canterbury were helped along the way by a hat-trick of penalty corners from Great Grace Ballston. So they progressed into the final to play 13 times Super Six's champion Slough. The Green and Whites put on a strong performance, but couldn't break through Slough's defence as they lost 2-0. With the weather warming up, the majority of Kent sides returned to football action at the weekend. Here's a look at how they got on. Tonbridge Angels were back at the Longmead Stadium on Saturday as they continued their hunt for a playoff place. Visitors Lowescroft Town were bidding to become only the third side to win at Tonbridge this season. Top scorer Nathan Elder had gone 10 games without a goal going into the match. But when you have the creativity of Nick Wheeler in your side, you'll always get chances. The winger picked up his 17th assist of the season as he crossed for Elder to end his drought in the 8th minute. Mid-table Lowescroft created little to find an equaliser. In fact, it was Elder that came closest to a second, but his attempted overhead kick dribbled wide. Tonbridge held on to go 5th in the Ryman Premier, back in the playoff places. In the same division, Folkestone hosted Haventon Waterlooville, but it took just 6 minutes for the away side to get in front, Theo Lewis neatly tucking away the opening goal. It went from bad to worse for the home side when Alfie Rutherford made it 2-0 just after the half-hour mark. That 18-year-old burst onto the scene with 21 goals at Bognor last season, but he won't have had many easier finishes than the tap-in he turned home here. Folkestone needed a way back in the game. A bit of magic, perhaps. Step forward, Sam Hasler. One of the goals of the season had got Invicta back in the game before the break. But from the sublime came the ridiculous. Folkestone keeper Tim Roberts went viral when he scored from inside his own penalty area 3 years ago. But this is a video he'll be less pleased to watch again, as his loose touch allowed Matt Patterson to put the result beyond doubt. 3-1 it finished, Folkestone dropped to 15th. In the Football League, Gillingham stayed 17th in League One following a 1-1 draw at home to Shrewsbury. The Gills announced striker Josh Parker as their second signing of the January window after the game, but manager Adi Pennock still wants more fresh faces before tomorrow's deadline.
There's a long list. There's a long list, there's not a short list. And we talk to agents and obviously the club that they're at. But it is a little bit frustrating, but you know, this is getting close now Tuesday, so we'd like to get in some new faces if we can.
Ricky Miller was twice on the score sheet as Dover got back to winning ways against Chester. Maidstone didn't get on quite so well, going down 2-0 at Solihull Moors. Dover's win means they remain in that final playoff spot, 3 clear of nearest rivals Barrow. At the other end of the table, Maidstone dropped into the bottom 4. In the south, it was another bad weekend for relegation-threatened Margate as they lost 2-0 at Bath. It was better news for Ebbsfleet and Dartford, however, as they both picked up clean sheets during comfortable victories. It means they both remain in the playoffs, as well as closing the gap on leaders Maidenhead. Margate appear consigned to the drop, though. They are 8 points adrift of safety. And finally, in the Ryman League South, Hythe were defeated at Hastings, Ramsgate edged out Chatham in a Kent derby, Faversham picked up 3 points at Three Bridges, but Sittingbourne lost at Walton Casuals. Kent Crusaders moved to the top of the NBL Division 2 with a win over Kilmarsh Derbyshire Arrows on Saturday. Harry Peat has the action.
Kent Crusaders made it back-to-back wins with a convincing 107-58 win against Derbyshire Arrows on Saturday. Here are your top 5 plays. In at number 5 is Mohamed Adamu. The 6'4" guard's first of 2 appearances on the top 5 sees him lay in this left-handed shot in traffic. At number 4 is Tim Shadipo. He had 16 points on the night and gets in with this smooth crossover and finish in the key. At number 3, RJ Uttle-Rock, top scorer for the Crusaders with 21 points. Here's 2 of those with a strong drive and reverse layup. In at 2 is that man Adamu, breaking away and slamming home with this 2-handed jam to help seal a big win for the Crusaders. But in at number 1 is Derbyshire's Paul Heyman. The Frenchman faked, broke the defender's ankles and sunk the 3-pointer.
Defensively, we were very much a step better than we have been, which is something we've been working on a lot. Offensively, we've got a lot of talent, and I think our offence comes from our defence, so we were really pleased with the effort defensively of the guys.
Paralympic star Tania Nadarajah has represented Great Britain in Rio at the Paralympics, and Joe Caution went to meet her.
The Centre of Excellence for Disabled Archery in Kent, or CDAP, teaches people of all disabilities to learn how to shoot, including para-archer Tania Nadarajah. Tania first took up archery in 2009 as part of her rehabilitation following a road accident that left her paralysed from the chest down. And thanks to the Western-based facility, Tania hit her target of being in the Archery GB squad at the Paralympic Games last year. And I was lucky enough to learn the bow and arrow basics. And who better to teach me than Paralympic GB archer Tania Nadarajah?
Put it on the rest.
Yep.
And then just make sure you knock it in between those 2 points here with this coloured arrow towards me.
Right.
And generally, when you put your fingers on the string, you want the first finger over the knock and the next 2 fingers underneath it.
Okay.
So then I'm going to raise my bow arm, I'm going to draw the arrow, the string back, anchor it against my face,
Right.
so that it's at the same point every time.
Okay.
Aim through the sight.
Yep.
And when I release the arrow, I'm just relaxing my fingers, letting the string come out of my hands.
Okay. And after some last-minute pointers from Tania's coach Peter, I was ready to pop a balloon. Peter Drury has been Tania's archery coach since 2014, and she admits that he deserves a lot of credit for getting her to Rio.
Peter has been absolutely amazing through the whole process. When I said to him, I've got a trial with Archery GB in 3 weeks, and I want to go to the Paralympics in 2.5 years' time, he didn't laugh at me. He took it seriously, and he was with me all the way. He came with me to buy my first bow, met me at the shop, gave me some advice, taught me through everything, and has just taught me everything from the beginning.
The World Archery Championships in Beijing later this year aren't a priority for Tania. She's already looking forward to the Tokyo Paralympic Games in 2020.
For me, I have changed a lot of things, tweaked a lot of things since I've got back from Rio, in the hopes that in the long run they will make me a much better archer and a much better athlete. So the focus is very much on Tokyo in 4 years' time now.
Gold medal in your sights?
Medal for sure.
Yeah.
It'd be great if that colour was gold.
And just before we go, there's time to have a look at January's Goal of the Month nominees. And Goal A is this terrific team goal from Castleton Athletic. They hosted Chatham earlier in the month, and Tommy Bradford is the man finishing off this slick move. Goal B is from Guernsey's Jake Andrews. Even though Hythe scored 8 in this game, it's the Islanders' consolation that makes our list with this delightful chip. Goal C is Castleton's Tommy Bradford again. This time he produces a wonderful solo run to tear apart the Chatham defence. And finally, Goal D is from Folkestone's Sam Hasler, who we've already seen can produce a stunning free kick against Havant at the weekend. You can vote for your favourite at our Twitter page, KM_Team Talk. We'll see you again next Monday. Good night.